Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Something, All Subjects channel. Here's what people don't understand. The older people that understand. Why y'all think Kevin Samuels so popular? Because Kevin Samuels obviously sat around, observed, went by his own personal experiences and put together probably one of the best channels, if not the best channels on YouTube. And he would have pulled it off, but he probably wouldn't get with the right people. Or what I think somebody robbed him, made him give up his information, because when they found him, he had 4 broke ribs. Now that's either from CPR or punch PR. But I got what I'm about to talk about from Minister Jap. It made me think about it because, as you well know, I work in a prison setting. And Jap is on to something with this. I give credit where credit is due. I still watch Minister Jap sometimes. But he talked about how modern women are taking L's dealing with prison pookies, prison dusters. Now, I gotta watch the video, obviously, and you already know I am. But I can tell you, not even watching the video yet, that he is absolutely right. Y'all should see some of these dudes' locker. The locker, okay, so they have bunks, like bunk beds, where I'm at. They got bunk beds. They wear gray and orange. Gray t-shirts, orange pants. They got lockers with their number on it, and we call them by their number because a lot of them, the majority of them, they don't want nobody knowing their name, because people do what's called CCAP. Here in Milwaukee, we have CCAP, and they can find out where you live, this. So most of those guys don't like for us to say their name, but some of them will tell you. Some of them be the opposite. They'll say, I'm not a number, call me by my name. Like one guy in particular, that's what he told me. So I call all the rest of them by their number, and I call him by his name. But they lockers be stacked with food, with everything you could think of, with hygiene products, everything. So when they get sent to cell block, we pack up all their stuff, and their stuff goes to the property room, and they only get things like deodorant, Bible in the cell block with them, toothpaste. So I see modern women taking L's like Jap had in his title. And some of them be looking pretty decent. Like, they don't be like ugly. Just like it's weird how, I'm gonna tell you, out of all the dorms I done been on, I only saw a couple of their girlfriends that were not at least average looking or better. That tells me a lot. Like the little dude with the dreadlocks, his girlfriend just had a baby. I know his name, but obviously I ain't gonna say his name. And so normally what happens is when the nurse come on the door, they had to go to their bunks. I looked back and I noticed he was still on the FaceTime thing, what we call the homeway. So I just went over there and just looked at him. He said, "Oh, my fault, man. The reason why I'm still on because my girl just had a baby." And I looked on the screen and she was bouncing the baby in her arms and was looking very happy. So he said, "Do I got to get off?" I said, "Nah, you can stay on." Normally I would have made him get off. He had a nice looking girl, man. But they taking L's dealing with them, dude. Because a lot of those guys in there would get out of prison and do something else, and they'll send them to our facility to go to court, keep going to court, and perhaps some of them get sent back to prison for the new crimes that they commit. Some of them will stay out of there for years, then they'll do something, and they'll be back in. But they do what they call penny checking. And penny checking is when you checking on your girl, so on and so forth. So they get mad over the phone. They be like, "Man, I gotta call my kids. I just need 2 minutes, tell my kids goodnight." But it's a phone list. So a lot of time I tell them, "Man, you not next. You gotta wait till your turn." Say, "Man, what would you do if you was in our position?" Be like, "I changed my ways so I wouldn't be in your position." Because, listen, man, I'm not like a person that ain't never did no wrong. But at the same time, just because I did wrong in the past, that don't mean that I should take the side with wrong, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of people do it. "Well, I'm not perfect myself, so no, you still should know right and do right." But the sad case is most people can't get right. So I see them taking L's every day. They be having kids by these guys. They gotta raise the kids on their own. They having to spend money that they could be spending on their kids and themselves on these guys. Like one dude say he spent $200 in 1 week. They put money on their phone. They put money where they can get movies, like they get tablets and they can watch movies on it, but they gotta pay for the movie. But all the stuff, money. And I see now why jail is big business. Like, who is all that money going to? Because this is county level. So who is all of that money going to? So they taking L's, he's right. They trying to be faithful to these guys that's not getting out no time soon. The majority of them ain't getting out no time soon. Some couple months, some gonna get sent back up for a couple years. So they ain't gonna be around. So these women is getting older. These women are money they could be building a life with somebody else. They spending money on them only to end up breaking up with them when it's all said and done. Just that's what's gonna happen. A lot of them just gonna break up. So that's what he mean. So this dude told me, man, I got a bad B for you. I can put a bad B on you. I looked at him like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good. What you mean you good? Blah, 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 blah. So I just start, see, what be baffling them with me is I could talk to them on their level. And sometimes I do. I said, what's she going to do for me? She going to go 50-50? I just start going down the line. Because I done learned my lesson. Like, next woman, she going to have something for herself. And be willing to share and combine. I ain't getting on that Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble stuff no more. There's too much anxiety with that. But most of these, they just gonna deal with them. And that's one of my vet questions. Should be one of your vet questions. You gotta find out who she loved. Or how her ex was. If she was dealing with a pookie and you not a pookie, it's probably not gonna go well. She probably gonna try to run over you. She gonna think you a lame, think you soft, cause you ain't never been to jail. Man, them dudes be telling me, like, I be saying stuff, you can get in trouble. Dude gonna tell me last night, I think I could take you, Howard. I was like, nah. Keep in mind, this dude a little string bean. They already said he can't fight. He just be talking. How you can't fight but think you're going to beat me? That's what make it dangerous sometimes. The stuff that I would do to them, they'll probably try to get me on. The dudes that can't even fight but are trying to come after you. It's done happened in the past. Like one guy in particular, back at another facility I was working at, he told me that he was going to attack somebody. I said, you ain't going to attack nobody on while I'm over here. He said, man, watch. I said, okay. So he did it, and I practically hip tossed the dude, like body slammed him. And he kind of hit his arm. But the move was a trained technique. And so his arm was kind of messed up. And he went in his room and tried to flood his cell. And I opened his door, he all in there like this with his, so I slammed him again in the water. And that's when everybody came over there, and I just left from out of there. He came up to me trying to fight, had his little guards up, and got slammed again. They taking L's, and these dudes, like I noticed, the juveniles always had girls to call. The adults always had women to call. But you notice how the good guys, like y'all probably know good guys in your family, on your block, in your neighborhood, wherever, that have no women to call, no girls to call. You know why? Because they all with pookies and ray-rays. And some guys is wising up. They just say, well, I just want to have sex. These girls is doing too much. You got to know how to vet. You got to get the one. If you want a relationship, you got to get the ones that ain't dealt with pookie, not dealing with pookie, and not going to deal with pookie. But it's hard because 99% of them do or will deal with pookie, including your soon-to-be ex-wife. They say they won't, but then they do. And they be going after guys for alimony and child support to send it to their jail pookies. Jap is right, y'all. They taking L's. Shout out to Minister Jap. Because I've been talking about this. I said, you know what? I'm going to make a video about this. But thanks for watching. Keep tuning in. This is The Truth, Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.